Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 110 of Confessions of a Market Maker. I'm your co-host, Ray, aka All Day Ray, aka the Superman Lover. And I'm joined here by my opulent co-host, former market maker of 20 years and current day retail trader, the Silverback of House Street. He'll handle your paper more carefully than the mailman, the proper villain. JJ, how's it going?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Summertime. I know you've been traveling a lot recently here in Europe. What do you got planned for the summer?
Well, we went to France, went to Nice, and
Hmm.
that was amazing. Pretty cool place. Very, you know, you hear about, the south of France and all this, and people say, oh, it's overhyped. It's not. It's just as
Hmm.
amazing as everybody says it is,
Hmm.
right? Really beautiful place. And lately we've been traveling around in in England here because my girlfriend's been working in the hospitals up here in weekends, different places like North Wales and Liverpool this weekend. So
Hmm.
it's I like Liverpool. Liverpool's nice and gritty. It reminds me of Vancouver in the 80s and 90s, which I like.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You've been to what? You also been to Amsterdam,
Went to Amsterdam,
Spain.
which is
Hmm.
yeah, Amsterdam is an amazing city. It took a couple of hours for me to get into the rhythm of Amsterdam, but once you do, you guys kind of slow down and chill out a little bit so you don't mind almost getting hit by a bicycle every 5 minutes. But I've
Yeah.
never seen so many bicycles in my life. You just freak you right out. But yeah, it's a very cool city. Nice people.
Yeah, nice, man. I'm gonna, I'm definitely I'm jealous, man. I'm gonna have to come over there. You're gonna have to show me around.
Well, I mean, you've got it pretty good. South Florida, I mean, if you've been if I was, being stuck in Saskatchewan or stuck in South Florida, I think I would take South Palm Beach,
Yeah.
or West Palm Beach, or one of the Palm beaches I'd take for sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, no complaining on my end. I definitely I like it. I like it a lot down here. So speaking of South Florida, and then we'll jump into trading talk here. You saw former guest we've had on the podcast is running for president. Did you see that?
Yes, I'm very excited. Right, I'm not even an American, and
Yeah.
I'm like voting for this guy. No, I just not to be political, but I like the mayor
Yeah, me too.
of Miami. And we're very we're fortunate to have him on the podcast. Now let's see that he's big time. Let's see if he'll come back on. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
We're gonna try and
come.
get him again. Yeah,
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 come, Bear Suarez, come hang out with your traders. Don't
yeah.
forget your traders.
You gotta get the
They
trader vote.
vote. They
Yep.
vote.
Get the trader and get the finance vote. Yeah, yeah. So
I like him because he's got that young energy, which we need.
yeah. You know what I like about him too, man. Like he's in shape, JJ. Like he's working out, he's running.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
he's not sitting back eating those what are those sandwiches? Those Cuban
oh yeah, the
sandwiches and
Cuban.
smoking.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so we're talking about the for those that don't know, we're talking about the mayor of Miami. We had him back on the podcast, probably like 2 years ago. Yeah, I think about 2 years or so. Go back and listen to that. He's running for president. Good luck to him. All right, so we're about to jump into some trading talk here. I do have some housekeeping notes I have to get into before we jump into the podcast. We got this new agreement in our room that we're about to announce with a Wall Street prop firm. I'm not allowed to say the name yet. And it's going to be able to allow members of our room, of our trading room, and also the podcast listeners a chance to learn how to trade, get funded. And if you're successful, you get to interview with and land a position on a Wall Street prop firm trading desk. So this is different than the other prop offers we've had before. Stay out, be on the lookout for that. Also, JJ, and you can speak to this a little bit. JJ, every day, I believe every day, 10 a.m. You've been running a Twitter Spaces. You want to tell listeners a little bit about those?
Yeah, every day at 10 a.m. I hop on Twitter Space and we talk about the market and we trade ES in our room, but we generally focus on that. So if you're trading the S&P mini futures, come join us. And if you're an equity trader, come hang out for a little bit and ask some questions, and maybe we'll tear apart a stock or two when it gets slow.
Yep.
Wouldn't mind doing that too, because our room, the microwave futures room, also has a sister room, the equities room, which Ray runs. And for you guys who like, say you guys aren't futures traders, there's always something for everyone. So the equity room, we have a ton of decent traders in there and really good. They pride themselves in that room of not taking the drama trades. Uh, they take the trades that pay. Those consistent, kind of boring, but hey, there's nothing boring about getting paid, right? That's what I
Absolutely.
always say,
Yep.
right? And so if you want to trade without the drama, come check us out. We'll teach you how to tear apart a market.
Yep, yep, absolutely. And there's a lot of synergy too. I know a lot of the people that trade over with us, JJ. They'll listen to you in the morning.
Hmm.
They'll be with you guys for a little bit, then they'll come over.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the same concepts we teach. They're trading concepts, not specific to one market or not. Um, Also, guys, go check out our Substack, Confessions of a Market Maker Substack. I've been writing a bunch of articles, a lot more to come in the pipeline. Make sure you guys go subscribe to that. And also, last thing here, podcast listeners, we're offering 20% off on the Micro E Futures trading room. Look out for the discount code. I'm going to put that in the description of the podcast. So if anyone's looking to join our room, 20% off here in the coming weeks. And yep, that's the end of the housekeeping notes. So JJ trading here. We're in the summertime here. I know there's usually some talks, summertime trading is slower time for the market. And I believe that is historically too. Do you ever account for that, or you just treat trading just like, business as usual?
The way we trade is we just find a little sort of a little box and trade within that box. So we still try and grind out a little bit. We're grinders, we try and grind out a living. For those large traders now, the ranges have been pretty crazy, right? So
Yeah.
it hasn't been, the slow summer that everyone's expecting. This market has not been easy to trade the last couple of months, and I don't think it's going to get any easier. But so as far as slow as in um, investment money coming in, sure, that's slow. But
Mhm.
there's lots of action. There's still stuff moving. I mean, you were talking about, these guys who want to go to space,
Yeah, Virgin Atlantic.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
as opposed to the folks who got trapped in the sub. Let's hope they get them out. To
Yeah.
all you adventurers out there, just be careful. At least
Yeah.
the stocks are running.
Yeah. 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 Crazy. So yeah, we're recording today. For reference, we're recording on June 20th. Today. Uh yeah, so the big ranges, like you said, JJ, it's we've talked about this on our side of the room, equities room, where like these huge intraday ranges, a lot of times it's like drama for no reason. It's like we're
Oh
either
yeah.
we're closing around where the open is, et cetera. But you just got to change your trading a little bit. Either you got to be like really quick, in and out, like with your stops, or you have to adjust if you're playing like a longer term move or a longer day or a longer term intraday move that you maybe have to downsize. Um,
Oh
and
yeah.
move your stop a little bit further because we are getting these huge moves and it doesn't necessarily invalidate your thesis, if you're, playing a longer term move.
It's harder trading these large ranges because this market doesn't have any investment money that's buffering both sides of the range. So
Mhm.
it kind of bounces around, and the large momentum traders just take it and run with it on the short side and the long side. Like you'll see the ES today, it came off a good amount, but then stopped at a certain point because it's still just an inventory correction.
Mhm.
And people will short it and it caught short in the hole, and then it rips up the other way out. So if you're trying to trade these longer ranges, you definitely need to have an approach where you can manage your position with size, right? And if you can't manage your position with size, then just take the 2 3 point scalps on the ES, or those shorter hops. Just like that. Just you don't eat a whole pizza in one bite, right? You got to chop it up into pieces, and that's the better way to trade a big range market, especially if you have a small account.
Yeah.
Keep it in bite-sized pieces. Otherwise, ooh, it can get away from you.
Yep. Yep. And we're me and you, JJ, we're not like uh macro macro traders.
No, no, no.
Um we're
No,
not
definitely not.
yeah, we're not
No.
really, I don't really try to concern myself with like, bear, bull market, etc. But with that being said though, we've been trending up. I mean, and for probably a decent while,
We have.
more or
We
less.
have.
I saw you post today one of these articles saying that this recent rallies cost bears 120 billion.
Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah. Do you have
You
just
know.
any thoughts around that?
Well, the thing is in this market, you always have to remember that there's limited supply. I
Hmm.
mean, look at Apple, look at Microsoft, look at all of these large companies, right? You will see that Apple trades maybe 10% of the stock that's available to trade on a daily basis. I mean, Apple's got a float of, well, I mean, what's their outstanding? 15.7 billion. The float's 15.7 fully diluted. 61% is held by institutions. And only out of that 15.7 billion, this thing only trades maybe 50 million shares a day, right? It doesn't trade that much. So when a stock doesn't trade that much, it's not very, you know, these people are, if you had 800 million shares of Apple, good luck trying to sell it in one day. It's just not going to happen. Good luck trying to sell it in a month because as soon as you start selling the stock, the whole street will know, right? These stocks are so large and they're so illiquid that the large holders, 1.3 billion, a billion, 900 million shares, Vanguard, BlackRock, Berkshire, that's a lot of stock and it's impossible for them to sell it. They're holding it for 30 years. That sucks the supply out of the market. That's why you have these huge rotations.
Yeah.
And that's what people forget because they don't understand what rotation is when supply is locked up. And that makes shorting a very, very expensive proposition, especially if you're short in bad trade location.
Hmm.
It's just horrible. And now that we're over 44.27 in the S&P, in that ES, let's see if we can hold that. But I'm hoping we get some liquidation because I don't like it when a market gets too short because that makes it no fun in the playground. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and these large ranges can make it tough, a lot of times there's no follow through, with some of these moves. But yeah, I'm with you there. So last podcast, JJ, we had on Brian Shart of Chat GPT Portfolio. Pretty interesting pod. You guys should
Oh
go,
yeah.
yeah, you guys should definitely go back, listen to that if you're interested in integrating AI or Chat GPT into your trading. I've been playing around a little bit with it myself. Um, AI, JJ, trendy thing right now. It's created a bunch of movement in the equity markets. Some good trades, around this like AI catalyst we have now. I know it doesn't probably really affect, you guys in the futures.
Well, it the futures are based on the equities. So Microsoft and Nvidia
Hmm.
and these people, I watched some very interesting Nvidia Google videos yesterday. They showed the power of their AI that they're developing, and not so much trading. I look at AI for so many other different things. Trading, because I'm just the way I trade is very manual. But for the the promise of what this holds, if you just look at something very simple like logistics or cargo transportation, the the, the efficiency that this new technology can bring, the magnitude of it is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I am not at all technically proficient, but I understand when things are changing. And just like when the internet came along and everyone went, right now, everyone try and take away someone's cell phone. You know, they'll fight you to the death for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like this is something that's coming, and I've always been excited about new technology, so I'm very curious to see how it's going to change a number of different businesses, and for me, because I'm a deal guy, right? So I see AI and I see 20
Mhm.
or 30 different companies I can take public,
Yeah.
right? It's like a smorgasbord of new liquidity that's going to come into the market. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah,
they'll
yeah.
if we take AI and put it to my old business model, we'll hang so much paper they're gonna have to grow some new forests.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. For equities traders, it's nice. Uh, I like playing things with catalyst, right? I mean, we're momentum traders. We need momentum.
Mhm.
And so it's creating some good opportunities. And yeah, like, yeah, you see these, you just attach AI to any one of these headlines. And you're at least going to get a temporary pump.
Mm,
So yeah, so that's interesting. Being on the lookout for that. And also,
definitely.
I think there's probably still a while until like I don't think it's no gloom and doom for like human traders. I still think it's like,
Oh no, no. With this,
you know,
eh, technology comes along, and everyone was so anti-algorithm, and I find that algorithms helps retail traders so much because it gives us so much precision in a futures market where it wasn't there before. There's always an advantage. You just gotta stop complaining long enough to be able to see it.
yeah.
And then you figure it out and then exploit it a little bit,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Absolutely. So another this is another like news headline here in finance. We have your good friends at the SEC, JJ. They're suing Binance
Yes.
uh, for unregistered securities operations. According
Yeah.
to yeah, so according to them, they failed to register as a securities exchange. So what have you been thoughts? Have you been keeping up with this at all?
Well, it's like we talked about earlier. The SEC regulating crypto is like Fred Flintstone trying to regulate, George Jetson.
Yeah,
You've got prehistoric regulations coming in to try, and they don't even understand this technology.
yeah,
Look, crypto is the money's gone. I don't know what they're trying to regulate now, right? Where were you before,
yeah,
right? They always come in after the fact and make a big hoo-ha about it. And all they're doing now is freezing up. Like, I've got friends who have these Binance accounts that they can't access. They have money that's tied up that they can't get to. They're making people jump through all kinds of hoops. Where were you before? Like, when it all started, you should have come out and said, okay, these are what we're going to do. They let it go for 10 years, and then they come up and they're like, oh, it's just a show before an election year,
yeah,
right?
yep,
That's all it is, to come in heavy handed. And the people who have made money and already, it's a cowboy market, crypto. I've got nothing against it, right? I'm jealous that I didn't partake. That's okay, right? There'll always be another market. But what's the point in, like, those people have already come in and taken the money out of that market, right? It might recover, and I hope it does for the people who are long at higher prices. But the SEC coming in now, it's kind of like throwing a lookout block in football, right? The linebacker is going to take the quarterback's head off, and the center's sitting there going, "Look out!" I mean, it's over, right?
yeah,
A dollar short and a day late, and it's just posturing for politics, I'm sure.
yeah.
But let's hope they just allow the people who have their money to get it out, and don't lock them out of their accounts, because that just hurts all the retail people. They do more harm than good.
Right, right, and that's the people they're supposed to be protecting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah, there's to the point where yeah, there's probably some stuff going on right behind the scenes and stuff we're not privy to, but I know there's some conspiracy. I won't even call them conspiracy theories because it is kind of interesting. They're saying so. After all this has happened, BlackRock, Fidelity, Citadel, Schwab, Deutsche Bank, they're all applying for Bitcoin ETF, spot exchanges, etc.
Gee,
And so people are asking, was this some just big coordinated effort, for Wall Street to like,
get control.
now catch up and get in? Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
get in
Like,
on this. Yeah,
it's like, hey, here's a monopoly we don't have. I mean,
yeah,
come on, BlackRock, what have they got? $11 trillion under management,
yeah,
right? I mean, how do you even argue against somebody who has that kind of money, right? It is just, it, you know, they're just making, they're like, okay, we let everybody in now. Let's see what we can go and take.
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah. So
know,
yeah,
it's
so
a
it'd be
total,
interesting.
it's a total Tony Soprano move.
Yeah, You got to respect it. Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Oh
No,
man.
Larry Fink, Tony Soprano, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it would make Tony proud. That's for sure.
Hmm.
I saw there's something like they're like fifth. I forget the number that was floating around. It was like 575 to one for them, like getting approval on these. I don't know these ETFs or whatever the hell they're doing. Um, yeah, just
They're
fascinating. Yep.
yeah, they just keep making product for people that they can sell.
Yeah.
I always this is a really I'm going to use some bad language, but we always say the investment bankers they create the poop, right? The
Hmm.
salesmen sell it, and the traders shovel it, right? That's the business, right?
Hmm.
The investment bankers create it, the salesmen sell it, and the traders shovel it out the door, right? That's all we're doing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And just say, take a quick second to shout out our good friends of the podcast, Apex Trader and Top Step Funding. Any listener of this podcast that has the skills to pass an evaluation can become a prop trader fully funded by either Apex or Top Step Funding. Our own micro futures trading community has many members who are now fully funded. No need to trade with your own money. Keep 90% of the profits. To learn more, you can visit our website at microefutures.com. All right. And that is going to conclude today's episode of Confessions of a Market Maker. If you guys enjoyed this episode, could you please rate and review it for us? If you guys would like to join a supportive community of traders, you can join us at microefutures.com. I'm Paulie Walnuts. He's the gorilla of House Street. You stop, so.
Have a good night, folks.